Hey everyone, welcome back to Jazz Arranging class. And today I want to go over a couple things. One is a little bit of an extension of what Fred Stickley did in a video a few years back using diatonic movement and constructing voicings relating to a melody using diatonic passing chords. So what I want you to do is, I'll link it below, go over and if you haven't already, check out Fred's video on 5-part horns at session 10. If you just go to YouTube and put in 5-part horns session number 10, you'll see it. Watch that video. It's a very good video. Fred's got a lot to offer, so subscribe to his channel if you're there. And if you like what you hear here, subscribe to this channel as well. And give this a thumbs up if you like it. So anyway, go over there, check that out, come right back. And what you'll see in Fred's lesson, he creates a short melody, and he harmonizes that melody downwards using notes that are relative to the key of F major. And you'll see that a diatonic melody can be harmonized easily by using notes already contained within the scale. This corresponding chord would be F major 7. So an F major 7 chord has a scale that relates to it, and namely that's an F major scale. So fundamentally, an arranger can quickly harmonize this line, as Fred does, by having each individual player follow a line that corresponds with the notes of the scale. And that's kind of a basic part of arranging, is using chord-scale relationships. But as I watched that lesson, it occurred to me that different styles of music often define the choices that an arranger has. So when deciding on how to harmonize a melody line, every kind of music is different. So I thought I would, in this video, extend on what Fred already did. So if you go watch that video and come back, basically he does rock music, and that will typically use basic major and minor chords, rarely using like a diminished seventh or altered 5/7, things like that. It's just the nature of that music. Rock is more simple than jazz. On the other hand, more advanced styles tend to lean towards more advanced reharmonization and wider palette of chords, choices that are available and typically used by an arranger depending on how sophisticated and skilled they want to be. So I thought it'd be appropriate to expand on Fred's video of diatonic reharmonization and show you a logical extension of what Fred laid out in that video. Link below. I took his example of the melody line, and I illustrated how this line could be expanded both harmonically and rhythmically. So not just harmonically, but rhythmically, that's part of an arranger's palette as well. So view the video of Fred's to get the basic idea of how these passing chords and diatonic harmonization works. My video here is going to basically show a few extended points on how a jazz arranger could work through possibilities using the same melody line that Fred did. If you have any questions or comments, leave them. But basically, if you looked at Fred's video, this following of what I'm doing will give you a good idea. You can link, I linked the actual PDF file in the description below as well. So as I mentioned, if you like what you see here, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to do so at Fred's as well. Here we go. Okay, you guys, I just wanted to go over some of what Fred did and just expand on it a little bit for more advanced people that are, have been around longer in the arranging field. So I wrote out what Fred had done here, and I'm going to play it for you, and I'll play you a few different versions. But what he did was, as you can see, I added a bass line, and what he did was the diatonic passing, and I added just kind of a one chord here. So we have F major 7, and then we have C7 here, and then F. So as you can see, everything moves up diatonically, meaning within the F major scale. So here's his, and I'll play this for you in a minute, but let's move on to the next one I did. The next version you can do is take away the root and add the 7th rather than the root. So you're substituting the root or the 7th for the root. And as you can see, everything is still diatonic. We do have a 7th here for the C7. And one thing about different styles of music, that first example, like in rock music, this first example doesn't use a lot of different, parts of chords that jazz would. So this could be, the way this is written, I was thinking this would be for a trumpet section of 3. You could actually add another octave down here and have 4 trumpets, maybe for a big band or whatever. So this would work well in a rock situation, pop or rock. Now we're starting to move into more jazz-oriented. And like I said, I'll play this for you in just a second. So also what we did here was we moved the fifth of the chord and I added the sixth, so we get an F6. F major 7, moving up diatonically to C7 and F6. And notice how the bass line stays pretty much the same. Outlines F major 7, C7, back to F. Next variation uses a little bit more substitution, and now we get into a little different bass line and different chords. So you may want to think of, when you write a melody, kind of going through this process of how can I make it a little more interesting. What I did here is very similar, but starting right here, we have G minor 7. And here I got out of the diatonic and I used a C sharp diminished 7, moving to D minor, moving to a G plus 7 chord. So we're getting out of diatonic here, but it's still working because we're still making the transition from the F major 7 to the dominant, but I went to the dominant of the dominant here, and so the 5 of 5 to 5 to the F6 there. And you'll see the difference. Now once you start doing this and getting out of the diatonic movement, you're going to have to maybe change the bass line a little bit to reflect what's going on. So that's what I did. You can hear that. So I add a little bit of movement to the bass line. So you'll have to, the faster the tempo, the more you may not need to do that. But this is like medium swing. And then here, I basically just changed the melody line and made it more rhythmic. I kept some of that same thing as far as the chord progression, but here what I did is a chromatic planing. Right there, you see all of them come down by half step. Da da ba da ba da, da da ba da ba da 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 da. So chromatic planing there. There's the C sharp diminished 7. Notice how I did right there. I did the D minor, C sharp diminished 7 to D minor. So I kind of went back and forth right in this area and got to G plus 7. Now we don't have a 7th here, we just have a triad. But like I said, this could be a trumpet section in a big band, at least 3. I wouldn't do this for 3 horns because you're getting too high up in the alto, and especially the trombone, if you have a trombone on the bottom one. So you would definitely need, this is definitely a closed voicing section type of thing, probably for trumpet section. Next measure here. And as you can see, I did the same thing as I did in the third example. Here's a tritone sub in the bass, moving up. So you can see, we took a basic thing and we made it more interesting by modifying it from both using some chromatics and using the diminished 7 chord as a passing tone as well as the diatonic passing. And here we just went back and forth with chromatic planing. Okay, let me play these for you and we'll be out of here.